Yo, what's up? Lorenzo here. Happy Friday, guys. All right. Topic for today is okay. I just want to share with you a fast trivia. All right, and I don't know if you people don't know this, but anyways, I'm gonna share it, and it's something about Ridley Scott. All right, he's my all-time favorite filmmaker in the whole wide world, whole wide world. Right. Anyways, this is regarding his film Gladiator. All right, which was in back in the 2000s when they released it. So, anyways, here are some short facts, trivia's of Gladiator that you film goers don't know or have no idea that it's actually true. All right. Okay. One is, did you know that the Gladiator script was short? All right. It was short, around 30 plus pages. You know, it's kind of shocking, right? So, and what does that give you? That they were unprepared, right? They were unprepared in the first few days of shooting, or mostly. So while shooting, Ridley Scott and the writer would always discuss, what do we shoot next? What do we put next? So it's like the whole time they were just improvising. All right, so that's a shocker, and I'm so amazed that they were able to pull it off. How do you pull off something that you were not really prepared? It's like you're a chef, and you have to cook for 100 people, and then you have only a few ingredients. What do? You got to improvise and be creative and all that. So the big brains of it all is Ridley Scott. You got to hand it to the guy. The guy has a creative eye. He sees something that normal people can't. That's why he's able to think and calculate things in his head and his eyes. What he thinks fits the frame, or what looks beautiful to the eyes of the audience. So that's one. The script wasn't complete, so they had to improvise. The lines of Russell Crowe, most of the iconic lines that he would say, like "I will have my revenge," blah 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 blah. It was all improvised by Russell Crowe, and I'm so amazed. It's just so, I just can't believe that's true, because it's like going to war unprepared, without any bullets or guns. But then your goal is to, pick up whatever gun or bullet you see in the on the ground. That's how they were. So that's so amazing, amazing. No other words to describe it. So what else? Oh, this one. Remember the opening shot where the hand touches the wheat? The opening, the most iconic. Actually, it's the most iconic shot in cinematic history. You remember that scene? Well, guess what? That's not Russell Crowe's hand. All right. This is a short story. So I think they were at the last day of filming, and they were in the location where the huge wheat field is. All right. So what, Ridley Scott was there, the whole crew, the extras, and the body double of Russell Crowe was there. Luckily, yeah. So, but then Russell Crowe wasn't there yet. So while waiting, Ridley Scott goes into the fields. All right. So he wanders. Yeah, he's thinking what he's brewing something in his head, and then he thought of an idea. And this was in the last day of shooting for Gladiator. All right. So he said, what if for the opening shot, he just thought of it at a blink of an eye. So he said, what if the opening shot was, the Gladiator, Maximus's hand touches the wheat, like that, smooth. And his assistants were like, well, where's Russell? He's not here yet. So, and then Ridley Scott, no, I want to use that guy. I want to use the double. So anyways, he used the double. That's why in the shot you only see the back portion of the double, and you see the shape of the head is kind of smaller to Russell Crowe's. So he made the stunt double, um, put on the gear, and then told the stunt double, "Hey, why don't you walk into that field there, put your hand in the field and start rubbing the tip, the topper tip of the wheat, all right?" And then Ridley got his camera and then recorded that shot, and wow, that is the shot you see, and that is the opening shot of the Gladiator film, and also the ending shot. Amazing! How amazing is that? That's what you call a gift. It just hits you. Not many directors have that. Ridley Scott is the guy has an eye. I mean, no wonder. And the funny thing is, Ridley Scott is not a writer. He never wrote anything. All right. Most of his films, he's just director, producer, but he never wrote anything. So he would just rely on his writer. But wow, for a guy that doesn't write anything to have one of the best films in the history of the world, amazing. That one, the guy is like, Ridley Scott is like Caravaggio or Michelangelo of the film world. He's no one can beat that guy. He's top notch. He's what you call a tier 1 film director, along with his brother Tony. So, and yeah, here's another trivia. Guess what? Ridley Scott never read anything about the Roman Empire or any historical accounts of a gladiator story. He never did. You know what was his inspiration? It's simply a painting. All right, I forgot the name of the artist, but it was a painting where this gladiator warrior was standing in the arena, in the Colosseum, standing in front of an audience. And when he just saw that painting, he already envisioned the movie in his head without even reading anything historical about the story. So how amazing is that? That is, for me, that's a gift that this guy has. You show him something, he can spark an idea just like that. So how to get Ridley Scott's mind, how to get his vision, amazing. So that is one of the reasons why I admire Ridley Scott as a director now. So there you have it. That's my short little trivia for my favorite director, Ridley Scott, and also my favorite film, Gladiator. So there you have it, guys. So all you film goers out there, the most important thing is you gotta have the eye, you gotta have the vision. I think Ridley Scott said every frame of the film has to be beautiful. Every frame. Even though you're just filming a ball pen or a pencil or a shoe or a lunchbox or your toes or a hand, it has to look amazing. That is the most important. Image, the power of the image that speaks volumes, that you don't need language to understand. It's just the image. Like a painting, it's like a Caravaggio painting where you just look at it and there's a story in there. When you just see the image, there's a story. And you see it and you visualize it in your head. That is the art of Ridley Scott. Amazing guy. Visually talented filmmaker. The guy he's been a commercial director, so good thing he went to the film world. Amazing. So that's it, guys. That's it for today's sharing about my love for Ridley Scott. All right, time for me to bounce. I'm gonna go for a walk, and I'm gonna exercise. Stay strong, and eat healthy. Enjoy your evening, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Time to partay. All right, guys. Ciao. All right. Woo. All right.